in the state of Israel for all these years. And he died in 2001. He died 10 years ago. And even then, there was no peace. There was all these intifadas, and these this, and there's that, and there's rockets flying over. And look at them today with the rockets flying out of Gaza and these things. When you see all that, every time a rocket comes flying over take it as a hint that God is trying to tell you something. He's saying, follow the Torah. Every missile that comes over, follow the Torah, and I'm going to keep sending missiles until you listen. And as long as you just say no, we're going to have hookers in Tachanat Merkazis, strippers in Tel Aviv. Everybody's going to drive on Shabbat. We're going to have a disco on late night, and we're going to have a pig store in Haifa, and we're going to do all these terrible things.
Gay pride parade
right by the Kosel. I mean, it's like you keep doing these things, and the missiles are still going to keep coming. You keep doing them, and the missiles will still keep coming.
So you're saying throw the secularists down the well so that God's country can be free.
I'm saying that all I'm saying is that the secularists should do tshuva, and they should no longer be secularists. They should say, okay, it's time to follow God.
Many people do tshuva once they've been thrown down a well. It's been scientifically proven.
Really? Oh, because there's no atheist in a foxhole.
Right.
Winston Churchill. And he had it right.
Right.
So that's the story on that. Now, let's get back to the original question. The original question is, am I saying Lashon Hora about Eretz Yisrael when I talk badly about the Israeli government and the Israeli government-run services, like their horrible healthcare system? Is that Lashon Hara? No. The Chavetz Chaim writes. We talked about the Chavetz Chaim a lot tonight. He's getting a big shout out. The Chavetz Chaim writes, it's never Lashon Hora to speak the truth about Rishoyim and Apikorsim, about evil people and heretics, right? That's never Lashon Hora. Never. You're allowed to say anything you want about them. Based on that, you're allowed to say anything you want about the state of Israel as long as it's true, right? Like not like some goyim who says, "Oh, the state of Israel, they kill what's the thing they always say? They kill the innocent Arabs. They oppress the Arabs." That's a bunch of bullshit, and that's just stupid. Okay, there's no reason to say that stuff unless you're an anti-Semite. Okay, I'm talking about the stuff that Israel actually does, and most of the things that they do that are bad, almost all of them, are against Jews. Right? The state of Israel's biggest victim is the Jew. That's the problem, and the healthcare system or anything that they do, you're allowed to talk badly about it when it's the truth and it's not Lashon Hora, because it's never Lashon Hora to talk badly about a Jewish heretic or Russia. Now, the case of the spies talking about Eretz Yisrael, that was Lashon Hora, because there was two things that they did that were wrong. Number one, Rashi talks about it. They said that they try to give the impression that that these giants who were living there, they could never defeat these giants.
Right.
So why go? Why mess with it? Right.
Right.
That is that's reporting Lashon Hora. That's saying it's a bad report about the land of Israel. That it's got these people there. You're saying bad thing about Eretz Yisrael, that it's got these giants there. We can't defeat them, and therefore we should go. I'm not saying something like that. I'm saying the state of Israel is there, and the state of Israel is a Bolshevik created country. It's not that we can't go there because we're afraid of the Bolsheviks who are there. We don't need to go there, right? But it would be better for the Jewish people, perhaps, according to some, if we dismantled it. It would be better, like Rabbi Miller says, like, we don't even know what to do now, because if we take it apart, people are going to get killed. If we leave it there, people are going to get killed. We put ourselves in a terrible position. There's so much damage that has happened to the Jewish people as a whole, worldwide, and there particularly because this country was created, and it's a huge problem. Okay, it's a huge problem. Am I boring you?
No, no.
Okay, and that is a reality, and that you're allowed to talk about. So no, there's no Lashon Hora here about Eretz Yisrael. I love Eretz Yisrael. I love going to the Kosel. I loved all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? The problem is
The Russian hookers.
The problem is you're kidding yourself if you go there and you think, oh, I'm going to be like holy, because that you're in a third world country created by communists. It's anti-Jewish, anti. These are the same people that wanted to get rid of Judaism and wanted to stop Judaism in Russia, and they're the ones in charge of us returning to the Holy Land. Something is wrong here, and this is the problem.
Now, Eretz Israel has got many very beautiful aspects to it. My last girlfriend had many beautiful aspects to her. And I asked her once, how much of your self-esteem comes from your beauty? She said 100%. So I've noticed that women are very sensitive about their looks. So I remember once there was this black girl, and my roommate picked her up at a club. He was an Israeli. So this ties into what you're talking about. He picked her up at a club on Friday night. Like, I wake up Shabbos morning, like eager to go to shul, and there's this really cute black girl in lingerie in the kitchen. And I said,
Here we go. I give it up for you, Levi. 1 hour and 7 minutes, and now we're going to get our first sex story. Go for it.
So I started talking to her, and I tell her about how I'm a convert to Judaism, and
here we go.
And she asked for a ride. So I'm on my way to Stephen S. Wise Temple, and I said, "Sure, I'll give you a ride."
Yeah, you gave her a ride, all right.
And so I give her a ride, and she talks to me about this Jewish guy she knew who said to her, "I can't have sex with you, but you can give me a blowjob." And I told her this is not representative of the way that Jews, relate to non-Jews, particularly attractive black women in lingerie. I said, but she had that experience. So the next Friday night, she and my roommate are drinking, and they're having a loud argument on Shabbat.
Oh.
On Shabbat, they're having a loud argument.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, disrespecting my Shabbat. And it's like 1 in the morning, I think now. 1 in the morning, Saturday morning. And she's screaming at him, and she's drunk, and so he tells her, go sleep with Luke. So she comes out, and, says, fine, look, you can sleep here in my bed with me. And she's like still screaming and cursing my roommate. He comes out, he drops a condom beside my pillow, and he says, in case you need this, I want you to have this.
Okay, thanks for sharing that, Levi. What does that do with Torah?
Chas v'shalom. So she got up she was like a restless sleeper. She was drunk, and she got up at 2 or 3 a.m. to eat some cholent, and then she went back to bed. And so I wake up about 8 a.m. or so, and I've got this really hot chick in my bed, and it's Shabbat, and I want to go to temple. So I tell her, look, I want to go to temple. You know what she says to me?
I have no idea.
She says to me, I want you to F me first. Here I am, I'm dying to go to temple to serve Hashem, and this black girl in my bed says, I want you to F me first. It's like...
Was it in that bed over there?
No, this was at our place in Beverly Hills. This is 1995, before I truly understood the profundity of the Torah. So, I called her up a few days later and came over and we talked, but for some reason she wasn't into any action. So, that's fine, I was just into talk. Second time round, she's kind of dressed up, and she drops her skirt and she says, tell me it's pretty. I want you to tell me it's pretty. And so I had to praise a particular part of her anatomy. And it's so many women, they just tell me I'm pretty, tell me I'm pretty. That's really important to them. And it's true beauty is within.
Okay, now I can see the parable.
Exactly.
The parable is that Eretz Yisrael, the beauty of Eretz Yisrael,
is within.
Is the holiness of the land and the holy places there. Yeah. And if you can hold on to that, you can, but it's impossible because you're living in a country
right.
that's
dropping their skirts and saying, "Tell me it's